The next person I'd like to introduce is Delroy, who's had a criminal background in the past, but is now a projects manager working with young people who are at risk of getting involved in criminal activities. Hello, Delroy.
The reason why I'm here today is to put over a clear message that crime doesn't pay. The reason why I can actually say this is because I've been involved in crime at an earlier age. And it's taught me two things. It's taught me that there's no such thing as something for nothing, and there's no such thing as a victimless crime. Now, I'm age 40, and I've got a lot of friends who are now still involved in crime. Things like drug dealing. Unfortunately for them, they've never really been able to enjoy their money or spend their money because they don't have any work record. And again, financially, they're probably a lot worse off. There's been research done, and the research goes that your average drug dealer makes about £18,000 a year. So again, as you can see, it's not really a fruitful business, whether you're earning money or not. Now, for myself, growing up, I've been involved in various crimes. And one of the things that really stick in my mind is when I was younger, I actually committed a crime where there was an elderly victim. I was actually arrested on the scene, and by the time I went to court, this elderly victim had actually died. Now, it turned out when we got to court that the judge actually said that he died of natural causes. But as far as I was convinced, I had helped in his demise. Now, for me, I've never been able to get away from that thought, and I have to live with that on a daily basis, live with that feeling of shame and guilt. So for me, it's something that I've never been able to get away from. As much as I'm not involved in crime now, I still have that reoccurring feeling, that reoccurring thought, that reoccurring nightmare of my criminal past and my victims. Now, one of the young people I work with actually sells drugs from a tower block. Now, he's in the premises in the tower block, hears a violent knocking on the door, jumps through the third floor window, thinking that it's police. He's jumped through the third floor window and he's broken his ankle. Now, when it's come down to it, it's his friends knocking on the door because they thought they were being chased by a different crew. So again, as you can see, living that criminal lifestyle never puts you in a place where you're safe. You hear a knock on the door, you think it's either police or you think it's somebody coming to get what you got. So again, you're never at ease. What I need to reiterate as well, don't matter what the crime is, the disadvantages always outweigh the advantages, and there's always consequences. Now, life to me is what you put in is what you get out, and it really stands to reason that if you're putting in something and putting in the work, what you're going to get out is going to reap the rewards. So again, that's a rule of life that I live by. My life's changed for the better now. I have two beautiful children, and I'm hoping to be that role model that they can look up to, because the role model was lacking in my life when I was coming up. So again, I'm definitely going to be there for my own children. I have friends that's been involved in crime for years, and none of them own their own house. They might have a flash car today, next week they don't have it. They might have gold jewelry, which doesn't really mean anything. It's all materialistic. So for me, I've learned over the years, especially as a guy who's actually been in prison, I've actually been on the other side. So I know that crime really doesn't pay. And for me, it's all about that role modelling. When I was growing up, I didn't have the role modelling, the positive role modelling. So it's the reason why I do the work I do here now. The last thing I'd really like to put over, because I would like you to take something from what I've said today. And what I'd really like to take from it is that what you put in is what you get out. If you remember that E add R equals O, that's basically what it is. Don't matter the event, it's how you react to that event. That's going to determine your outcome. So again, I need to reiterate, what you put in is what you get out.
Go.
Before the Ghost Project, I wasn't doing nothing. I was just with my friends, just walking around places, trying to find a job, but nothing. Basically nothing. I was at a bad patch. I had things to pay, something I couldn't do nothing for myself. If I haven't done the Ghost Project, I'm gonna admit it, I would have done something stupid, like rob someone or something stupid, because I never had nothing.
I done my City and Guilds motor mechanics when I did my Borstal at Inler. That taught me a lot, yeah. Been in prison every year, on and off. So that makes it about 22 years, doesn't it? Something like that. You angle prison how you angle it. Some angle it well, some angle it bad. I angle it good and bad. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but at the end of the day, you've got to do it. So, you know, you've got to find a way of getting through the day. Down on basic one day, no visits, not seen the kid for ages, put myself right on a downer, lasted for a few days. In the end, I took a razor blade and cut myself. I was found a couple of hours later, lost 3-4 pints of blood. Outside hospital. Check, check, check. Drip, drip, drip. Stitched me up, and that was it. Back to the jail. Nothing had changed. Didn't change nothing. There's been times when I've woke up on this bed and I thought, fucking hell, I wish I was in Winchester now. You know, rather than waking up here. You know, at least there, I didn't have to worry about what was happening through the day, where my next meal was going to come from, you know what I mean?
Did you feel any guilt when you take someone's car? I mean, it's someone's property.
Yeah, of course I felt guilt when I was taking the car, you know. Somebody's property, like you say, you know, they're hard-earned cash. I mean, like, you know, some people work for a living, some people thieve for a living. I thieve for a living. You know?
Do you think you're part of society?
Yeah, very lower class society, yeah.
How would you describe yourself?
A lot of people would put me in the scum bracket, wouldn't they?